Hello, Exploration Nation. Today we're going to try to locate an old cemetery. I haven't been here in about 20 to 25 years, and there's not really a road or a path going up to it. So the trick will be finding it. I think it's up that way somewhere, but we'll soon find out. So let's see if there's, this looks like maybe a path right down here. Might be an easier way up than climbing that bank. No, that goes the other way. Okay. Looks like some other people have been this way, so maybe it is. Cooler weather is finally here. It's a nice, cool, crisp fall day, and the summer temperatures finally came to an end. If we don't find the cemetery, then at least we've had a nice walk. There's a clearing right here. Let's see if it's right here. Nope, not there. Okay, according to the map, about 500 feet from it. So let's see where this is. That way. I have an idea. I'm taking the scenic route. Once I get there, there will probably be a better way to get in there to it. Because the last time I was here, I do not remember going to all this to get to it. I want to drop down to this old road. This road probably originally went to it. Maybe I'll make it a little bit easier getting there. Okay, that just goes straight down the side of a mountain right there. Definitely not going to be there. There's a nearby lake. I think I see it. Go to the bottom of this hill and be on the shoreline of the lake, it looks like. Not sure. Can't tell if that's trees or the lake beyond there. But according to the map, we're close to the lake, so I think there is a better way to get there. So I'm going to go back out and try this again. Okay, according to far away. Still showing 500 feet. 500 feet this way is a whole lot easier than 500 feet through the woods. It's showing off to the left, right up through there. We'll keep going. I have an idea that that road, that old road right there, might go to it, but I'll get even with it. About there. So according to the map, it should be straight over there. Very close. So I'm going to go back up here to the road and go across. And here we are. A little bit of a circuitous route to find it, but here it is. Now this cemetery dates back to the 1800s, and you can see by the headstones how old it is. It's not very large, and it is within the confines of a campground, so if anybody sees this, recognizes where this is, then during the camping season you are not allowed to come back here unless you are family visiting one of the graves, or they do a cleanup in here from time to time. But otherwise, during the camping season, which runs from about April to September, about Labor Day, you are not allowed to come back here. The campground is closed for the season, and so I walked back here, and I remember the last time I was here, the campground was here, but they did allow day use at the time. You could come back here and picnic and fish without camping here, but that's not allowed anymore. So the only way that you could come visit, if you're not a family member, is to come while it's closed and walk in. Okay, 1854 to 1912. (1902). That one looks like passed away 1890. And that's a grave marker. Looks like it's been vandalized, as always. Can't have anything anywhere anymore, it seems like, without somebody coming along and tearing it up. (19-something-7). I can't make that one out. Passed away 1900. (1894). I can't make that one out. It looks like maybe 1890. That looks like a child because it looks like 1890 to 1890. And back then, infant deaths were pretty common because there was a lot of medical information that just simply did not exist at the time, and the infant mortality rate was pretty high, and adults didn't live to be a ripe old age typically. Some did, and we've already seen some here that did, but many passed away in their 40s. Things like influenza and things that we don't really think all that much about now were fatal back then because the medications didn't exist, the medical information did not exist yet, and so if the body couldn't fight it off, then the person just passed away. So that's why you see such short lifespans in a lot of these old cemeteries, and a lot of child and infant deaths. And here's two graves right here. My guess is probably children, and they just use rocks to mark them, it looks like. And another rock has a marker there. Passed away in 1906. And here are a couple more rocks. I don't know if that's two graves or a headstone and footstone. I don't know. And see here what I was talking about. This child, a little girl, only lived 3 days. 1909. Try my best not to step on graves here. Hard to tell which direction is which. The sun is that way. It's afternoon, so that's west. The tradition was for the graves to face east, which would have been that way. And these aren't really facing east. I'm just having to guess at some of them. These are turned this way, so maybe all of them are this way. But this is apparently a husband and wife, and they passed away within a few months of each other in 1886. And probably numerous graves. There's probably some here that are not marked, most likely. I'll move over here just in case there are. When you get into an old cemetery like this, if somebody marked graves with a wooden marker, which was not all that unusual, then it's long since deteriorated away, decayed away, and sometimes there are no records showing who's buried somewhere. The only thing you can tell is by maybe a depression in the ground or something like that. And without burial records, then you don't know who it is. So I'm going to move on back through here. And here are some that are just marked with plain rocks. All back through here, you can see all through out there. And I'm not going to go out there since there seems to be a question as to which way the graves are turned. And that's just always been a thing with me. I was brought up to not walk on graves. So that's why when I was reading the tombstones, I was doing my best to try to walk in between them and try to determine which way was east. But these graves are turned north and south. So here's some more right out through here, and that may be another one down there. This one looks like it. Yes, this is. I think this is a grave marker. And this one's turned east and west. So the grave is probably that way. And it may or may not be by itself. There may be other people buried all out through here that are unmarked and nobody knows that they're even here. But then again, once in a while you get to an old cemetery and occasionally you would find a grave off to itself, and there are a number of reasons why. If it was a family cemetery and somebody else wanted to be buried there, sometimes they would bury them off to themselves away from the other family. Years ago, my parents and I visited a cemetery, and I don't remember where it was, but there was a concrete wall about 3 feet tall all around the whole cemetery, and we went to one corner and looked over the wall, and there was a gravestone with a person's name out there outside the confines of the cemetery. So you don't know. Sometimes it was children born out of wedlock that would be buried off to themselves. Things of that nature. There are a number of reasons why that happens sometimes. But like I said, it could also be that there are graves all throughout here and the stones got gone for whatever reason over the years, and there may be graves all throughout here. That looks like a depression right there. That looks like that's possibly a grave right there. And I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's straight in front of me, about 12, 15 feet right there where that little spot of sunlight is. There's a depression in the ground. And right up here you can see another gravestone right there. I'm going to slip around down through here and see if we see anything else that may resemble a grave marker. I don't see anything right offhand. It looks like the graves are pretty much up here. Here's some more down here, seemingly off to themselves. You see right here, here, right there. There's one. All these are unmarked. There's another one right there. And I don't see any off down the hill. And these are turned north-south as well. So I'm thinking that's maybe a headstone, footstone situation. If that's the case, then that's not a headstone, that's a footstone, and the headstone is missing. But at any rate, let's go around. And looking through there, don't see any more. Something was living in there at one time, maybe still is. If it was warmer weather, we might find out one way or the other for sure. Unintentionally, of course. Here's another stone right here marking either the head or foot of a grave. And here's another one. Oh, and here's one here, just about walked up. I'm in between two, right here. Or two more. Well, go up the middle. And you can get a better view of the ones on this side. There, much better. Get another view of the main part of the cemetery up here. And it makes me wonder if non-family members are back here or by marriage, because it seems like that most of those with traditional headstones are up here, with a few back here, but the majority of the, well, all of them back behind that stone right there are all marked with just rocks. I wonder if those are in-laws or what back there. I don't know. When I get back, I'll look this up and see if I can find a few answers. If you recognize the area and you know the answers to some of my questions, then be sure and comment below. Let me know so that we can get a little history on the place. Very interested in historical records and events. And that's it for the cemetery tour. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching as always. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe, comment below, and share with others. And I would very much appreciate it. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.